Imagine a place where there is nothing for millions of light years ahead. Absolutely nothing, total darkness. A place so dark that it seems that time itself is put on hold. But what is it? Let me explain. We know that we orbit the Sun, and the Sun orbits the center of the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way, along with its 50 neighbors, goes around the invisible gravitational center in the local galaxy group, located inside the Virgo Supercluster. Just like other superclusters, it turned out to be a part of a much bigger Laniakea Supercluster. Inside the circle, the objects don't orbit the same point but gravitate towards a super-heavy anomaly in the center called the Great Attractor. We can't see it due to the specific location of our galaxy. Our galactic disk obstructs our view. But today, we're interested not in the attractor itself, but the eerie empty space in front of it, known as the Dipole Repeller. Such empty areas in outer space are called voids, and if you look at the universe from the outside, it would seem like an infinite network of galactic threads divided by empty spaces called voids. This is what our world looks like if you could capture it in one picture minus 10 billion light years, connected with galactic threads, with voids being one of the biggest structures in nature that occupy most space in the universe. Today, we will focus on one of these voids, the Boots void. When we gaze at the stars, it seems that they are dispersed evenly throughout the sky. But this is an illusion. As all stars are in galaxies, they are located relatively close to each other, making gravitational clusters. But the emptiness created between them is nothing compared to the scale of the void. The Boots void is one of the biggest voids in the whole universe. It is located 700 million light years away from our planet, near the Boots constellation from which it borrowed its name. The Boots void was discovered in 1981 by Robert Kirshner and his team. For many years, scientists have been asking themselves about the nature of this void, how it was created, and what exactly lurks in the darkness. The diameter of the Boots void is estimated to be 330 million light years, which is astonishing considering the fact that it comprises 0.27% of the diameter of the known universe. The size of our Milky Way galaxy is about 100,000 light years, which is minuscule compared to this void. When scientists first started to study the void, they discovered 8 galaxies. This is very little compared to other gravitational clusters which have already been explored. Before long, 52 more galaxies have been discovered at a great distance from each other. According to astronomer Greg Aldering from the University of Minnesota, the scale of the void is such that if the Milky Way had been in the center of the Boots void, we wouldn't have known there were other galaxies until the 1960s. They would have been so far away that they would have been invisible to the telescopes that existed up until the 60s. At that point, our telescopes got good enough that if we had been in that void, we would have been able to see the dim light from the other galaxies and begin to fathom their existence. So far, only 60 galaxies have been found in the Boots void. Using a rough estimate of about one galaxy every 10 million light years, 4 times as far as the Andromeda galaxy from Earth, there should have been approximately 2,000 galaxies in the Boots void. Upon discovering this great void, astronomers have noticed how mysterious and unique this area is. When taking into account the distance between the galaxies inside the void, it's clear that it can be called a paranormal area. Just to put this in perspective, our Milky Way galaxy has around 24 neighbors in the space of around 3 million light years in the cross-section. Taking into account that the average distance between galaxies in the universe is around several million light years, the Boots void should have included 10,000 galaxies if dispersed with the same density. You can agree that the difference in density is just enormous and can't be explained rationally. Scientists have managed to calculate the volume of the Boots void and assigned it a non-system value called parsec, which equals 3 light years. Now, you'd be surprised to know that the estimated volume of the Boots void is 236,000 cubic megaparsecs. Let's leave aside the size of this void and focus instead on its content. It sounds paradoxical, but the void mostly consists of emptiness. Its vacuum space is isolated from the everything that you can observe in other galaxies. You won't see any dust, dirt, or stones there. There's no place for even the smallest particles, such as photons. This is why scientists call the Boots void a desert in outer space. The Boots void is submerged into darkness, so scientists still don't understand particle interactions in the Boots void. It may take many years to gain more knowledge, and processes within the void would likely take tens of thousands of years to occur. In comparison, the history of mankind is like a blazing meteorite. The nature of the Boots void raises questions about its isolation, extreme distances between galaxies, and pitch-dark space. It is the most ideal vacuum in outer space, providing minimal dirt and dust, as well as rare particles. Interaction between particles would require thousands of years, if it occurs at all. The void's low density means that neutrinos and photons behave similarly when entering and exiting. Matter particles with more mass would be pulled towards the void's walls. The Boots void's state-preserving property makes it a potential time capsule. A pattern of photons fired into the void could be rediscovered hundreds of millions of years later on the other side. In the future, the Boots void could serve as a testing ground for high-speed travel. Its extremely low density would be attractive to those seeking speed records without intergalactic dust interference. Scientists study the origin of the Boots void, a unique and incomparable place in the universe. One theory suggests that it formed when multiple small voids merge, resembling the merging of soap bubbles. The tubular structure of galaxies within the void may be remnants of the borders between these smaller voids. Another radical possibility is that the void was created by an advanced civilization using a Dyson shell to dim stars and galaxies encountered during their colonization. Although speculative, this idea is worth considering given the peculiar nature of the void. The discovery of the Boots void has forced astronomers to reconsider their understanding of galaxy formation, given the non-uniform distribution of matter in the universe. The void serves as a humbling reminder of the vastness and emptiness of the cosmos. While we may be a small and insignificant part of the universe, we can at least find solace in the stars that adorn our night sky.